What do we have left? Anything? Are we doing anything? Are we closing this program? What program is this? Are you the host? Am I the host? What's going on here?
You are the host. This is, in fact, the Jim Cornette Experience. One last thing, because we've closed out most weeks lately with the ratings. It's a little different this week because NXT aired on Tuesday night, AEW on Wednesday night. But let me give you these ratings and then ask you a question. This week, NXT did 849,000 viewers on Tuesday, the 1st of September. AEW on Wednesday, the 2nd of September, did 928,000 viewers. My question for you is, based on the fact that based on the fact that NXT unopposed and for 2 weeks in a row on Tuesday night has done well over 800,000 viewers each week, do you think NXT would be better off being moved off Wednesdays directly against AEW and given their own night?
Well, both shows would obviously be better off if they were moved to different nights because we've talked about them, the 250,000 floaters that go back and forth, or our audience is mixed up in that, where they float around based on what they think we're going to talk about. When AEW went on Saturday night at 6:00 and was fucking unopposed, but it was Saturday night at 6:00 and they got 775,000. I said, okay, there is their core audience. They'll follow them Saturday night at 6:00. They'll follow them Tuesday morning at 4 a.m., whatever, because they are more. The AEW fans are more fixated, more hardcore. When I talked about years ago when they would move local TV times, it would hurt the promotion because the fans wouldn't know how to see the show. These people chase it and follow it. And that's about how many there are, about 800,000. NXT has probably overall about 100 or 200,000 less so far, but they have held steady and gain when they're not opposed. So they would obviously do another 100 or 200,000 by themselves, just like AEW does another 100 or 200,000 by themselves. And I don't really see why anybody's surprised at this, because that's the level. That's the level they've reached. They've each got 700,000 with a couple of 100,000. It could go either way, and they're unopposed and they still don't get 1 million. Maybe I think 1/4 hour of the COVID god, the demo god, here a couple weeks ago got 1 million, and he was crowing about that. But fuck, that may have been just some people just switching by. Point is, that's the group, the number of people that are going to watch what they consider this modern wrestling, and then there's still 2 million watching Raw and SmackDown because they're on their institutions. And they suck too. But they're not making any new fans because, as we mentioned out throughout this entire program, normal people don't think this shit makes any sense anymore. You could get 10 million people to watch wrestling 20 years ago because at least you knew what was going on and it kind of made sense until the latter stages of the Attitude Era and they all lost the plot. But you can't get normal people to start watching wrestling if they don't already, unless they understand what's going on and there's some element of attempt to make you believe that they're serious about their shit. Because that's what's going to watch fucking monkey shines and gymnastics is 750,000 people. I'm not impressed. I'm sorry. That's 2.5 times what the number of people that used to watch Memphis TV on Channel 5 on Saturday morning. Just in Memphis. So I think it would benefit both programs, but it would benefit AEW more than NXT because NXT doesn't have to make a profit. NXT doesn't have to do anything otherwise than just take a couple of 100,000 people away from AEW. That's why it was put there. And to be perfectly honest, I think that the WWE is happy just to have it. Until if they started watching the AEW show from start to finish, they may be even less worried about it than they were at the start. But I think the worry has calmed down. And I think they're just going to leave their C show against the other guy's A show. And as long as they're competitive back and forth, it's a goddamn win either way. So their flagship program can't beat our developmental show. Oh, okay. And or their flagship program did beat our developmental show. Oh, okay. What big deal is it? If it was Raw head to head with AEW, you'd see some people in the goddamn WWE shitting their pants. But does anybody out there honestly think with the product, I will say this and then we're going to go. Does anybody out there, can you honestly say to me, with the television program that they have aired over the previous 9 months or the one that they will air for the next 4 months of this year, whether they're opposed or not, does anybody legitimately think AEW is going to have another 400,000 or 500,000 people watching in the next 6 months? Or the next year? Or the next year? And Brian, would you go to MyBookie and would you bet that with 2 more years of uninterrupted television time on TNT Network and being able to sign whoever the fuck it is they're able to sign in addition to who they've already got, do you think that AEW stands a snowball's chance in hell of having 1.5 million viewers this time next year instead of 750,000?
Maybe if they change who my booker is.
Well, no, no, just yes or no to that question.
Ask me the question again.
Do they have a chance of in a year from now having 1.5 million viewers instead of 750,000?
I don't think so. But again, they were just under 1 million this week. But I don't think their audience for just their show is much higher. Of course, that could change. If all of a sudden they sign Brock Lesnar, then we're talking about a major acquisition that gets attention. But with this crew,
but
and
wait a minute.
If things continue along this line, like Ann Gunkel's promotion, where they don't add a lot of major marquee names and they're kind of just shoehorned into these are the guys they're going to get, I don't see exceptional growth in terms of the viewership.
If they sign Brock Lesnar, 2 things will be true. Number 1, they will have spent more money than any wrestler has ever earned. And number 2, Vince McMahon will be not only dead, but buried or cremated. I guarantee you that Brock will probably want a huge contract from Vince not to go to AEW, and I guarantee you will never see Brock Lesnar show up on AEW. And I also guarantee you, and somebody play this in a year, NXT is going to have within a couple of 100,000, give or take, the same viewers they've got now, and so is AEW, because neither one is doing anything to make normal people who used to like wrestling but don't watch it anymore, or who have never liked wrestling but would give it a chance. They're not doing anything for those people. They're just doing stuff for people that want to see the goddamn moves and the flips and the stunt show with an emphasis on athleticism and good-looking human beings in NXT, and an emphasis on friends and fucking effeminate men and goddamn people that the AEW fans think are inclusive and not threatening or harmful in any way. And that's the audiences. There you go.
I guess before we wrap things up, we should just mention to everyone, if you want to hear Jim review All Out, it'll be on a very special episode of The Drive-Thru, which will be out Tuesday this coming week.
That's right, because even though All Out is on Saturday night, we're not going to rush it. And it's going to be good weather here in Louisville this weekend, so I'm planning on getting outside and puttering in my yard on Sunday. But I'll watch this thing on Monday morning. We'll record on Monday afternoon. The show will be out on Tuesday, and you will find out who shows their ass at All Out. I guess that's the best way is there anything, I forgot what's even going to go on, but is there anything we can hope for?
I'm looking forward to FTR versus Omega and Page. I'm looking forward to Shida versus Thunder Rosa. I think that could be good. MJF and Moxley, I'm intrigued by where they're going to go with that.
It'll be interesting to see what that looks like, because if Moxley actually steps up and has a wrestling match because MJF is a great worker, if Moxley tries to do the same garbage outside the ring, fight everywhere, thumbtacks, chair structures, whatever, then it's just a waste of a special talent like MJF to put him in the ring with this fucking guy.
I'm not giving a shit at all about the Young Bucks versus the Lucha Express, or the Jurassic Express, excuse me.
God damn it. I didn't even notice that.
I think they announced on TV, because it was a package, and I said they can't be doing this match. So if I'm wrong and they're not doing this match and it was just a package for other reasons, I apologize. But I believe one of the matches was 4 members of the Dark Order versus Dustin, QT, Scorpio Sky, and Matt Cardona, which is just a match I could not care any less about any match on that show than that one.
All right, say no more because you're going to talk me out of watching it.
No,
so that's what we're going to do.
Please watch the pre-show too, because you got it. Whatever Britt and Big Swole will be, it has to be seen. I
can't miss that. And I'm to whatever they show on pay-per-view, I'm recording it. So whatever they show is what I'm going to be watching.